The proxy that we're going to be using is Burp Proxy. Now, Burp is a really big program that can be used for a lot of things, but we're going to be focusing on how to use the proxy in this lecture. So we're going to be using the proxy in a lot of lectures. I'm going to explain how to run it and configure the browser to use it once. And in the future, I'll be skipping through this step. I'm just going to say, I'm going to run Burp Proxy, and you should carry out these steps. So how Burp is going to work is we have our client here, and we have the web server, just like we've seen it before. And we have the HTML website loaded on our Kali machine. So when we send a request, instead of sending it directly to the web browser, we're actually going to configure our browser to send the request to Burp. So this is our proxy running here. Burp will see all the parameters that are being posted to the website. So we're going to see the post requests, the get requests, and we'll see them after all the client code has been applied. So some websites apply client-side code, as I said, to the request before they send it. So we're going to be able to see the requests after the client-side code has been applied. This is very important because a lot of websites use filtering as client-side, and then we'll be able to bypass all of these filters by intercepting the request. Then once we modify the request in Burp, we're going to forward it to the website will execute it and give it back to us. So again, we're going to redirect the requests to Burp, modify them here, send them to the website executes it, give it back to us. Now we're going to be using this a lot in the future, and the idea will become much more clear in the future. So if you don't really get it now, just keep going through the lectures, and I think it will become much more clear. Let me show you how to configure Burp. So first of all, I'm just going to start Burp. So you can run it here from the dock, or you can run Burp suite from the terminal. Now, this is just telling me about some temp project I had. We're just going to click next to use a temporary project, and we're going to use the defaults. So we have Burp running here, and as I said, it's a really big suite with a lot of options. What we're interested in, the proxy. So we can see that the proxy is set to on, and the most important thing now is to go on options. And you'll see that the proxy is running on port 8080. Okay, now anything we do here is still not sent to Burp because we are not redirecting anything to it yet. So we need to set up this. We need to tell our web browser to send all the requests to the port that Burp is running on. So Burp is running on 8080. So now I'm going to go to my preferences. I'm going to go on advanced. Network, settings, and we're going to use manual proxy configuration. And we're going to use port 8080, and the IP is 127.1, exactly like it's in here in the options. I'm going to click on OK. And now anything I do on this web browser will be redirected to Burp before it goes to the website. So anything I do here will be redirected to the proxy. I can modify all the requests and send it to the web server. So let's see how is this going to work. So I'm going to go back here to the Intercept, and I'm just going to click on any link in here. So if I just go, for example, on the file inclusion, you'll see that Burp here has intercepted a packet. And if we go here on the parameters, you'll see the stuff that Burp is sending. So we can see that it's asking for a page called include.php. It's telling that the security should be low, and it's sending a PHP SSID. So again, on the headers, you'll see all the headers that's being sent, and you can modify any of these values by double-clicking it. So you can modify this, double-click it, modify it, hit enter, and then once you're done modifying it, you can click on forward, and that will forward the packet, and then the page is displayed here. Now we're going to be modifying these things in the future, so right now I'm just showing you that Burp is set up correctly, and in the future we'll be modifying that. Let me just show you an example of a file upload. Now again, if I click on file upload, nothing happens. I have to forward the packet here, so you can see the values that's being sent, you can see the headers here as well, and I have to forward it, then the website will load in here, and I have to forward again. And as you can see now, it loaded. So let's try to upload an image. And when I click on upload, again, you'll see that the website pauses and we can see all the stuff that's being sent in here. So you can see that the image name, you can see the image type, and you can see all the variables that's being set as well. Again, this is a post request, and usually you don't see anything in here in the URL, but we can modify the values in here and then send them. Again, this might not make much sense now, but in the future, once you start learning other attacks and will be using Burp, you'll see how useful this can be. Once done using Burp, because now if we close Burp, the browser will still try to redirect the packets to port 8080 where Burp is running. So if I try to open anything, I will lose my connection because it's saying the proxy server is refusing connections because I stopped Burp. So once you're done with Burp, go back to your preferences and make sure that you set up your proxy settings to not use a proxy. So advanced network settings, and then go to no proxy, hit OK. And then you should be good to go. Now, if I do a try again, the website works as well. So again, this is going to be really handy to intercept post, get, and bypass filters, and also bypass any type of client-side code that gets applied to the requests made by the website. In the future, I'll be doing this very fast, and once I say I'm going to use Burp, you should take it that you need to start Burp and configure your browser to redirect packets to go through Burp.